I guess, does it depend on the punishment? I know in situations of death row, if someone is in places where death penalty is still a thing, if someone is on death row, meaning they've now been sentenced to death, I think when you're in death row, the investigations start over. And this is to make sure that there's zero doubt, whether reasonable or unreasonable doubt. There must be zero doubt that you did a thing. There must be zero doubt about your intentionality. That's why people are on death row for 10, 15, 20 years at times, where every stone is unturned to make sure that if we're going to take this guy out, it must not be by mistake. And it was worse in the time when there was no DNA. And you'll find, like, recently, just fun fact, recently, meaning in the last 20, 30 years, since the advent of using DNA sequencing to prove or disprove cases, a lot of guys have been let off of what you might call have been let off of death row because DNA evidence now disproves or proves this person's innocent. I can imagine you walk around a corner, you see a woman laying there. At the same time, police come around the other corner and they see you in front of this woman. You are out of breath because you came from somewhere, wherever you came from, and they saw what they saw. And the vileness and the condition of that person or that woman on the floor. The only answer is that whoever did this needs to die. And they saw you there. So there are situations like that where people have been sentenced to death. And the only way to show that they didn't do anything would have been the DNA stuff.